Welcome along, fellow time travelers. Today is October 10th, 2024. I'm here in Asheville, North Carolina, documenting the storm damage. I have quite a number of videos, and I think I'm going to post them in the order in which they were shot. I've got quite a bit here in the River Arts District, which I want to talk about in a bit, but before I do, I want to let you know the situation on the ground. Asheville, North Carolina feels like a war zone right now. The city is not in any condition to welcome tourists, as it normally would this time of year. Resources are stretched thin, and the fewer outsiders coming in, the better. We all want to support local businesses, but there aren't that many to support right now. And think about this, if there's an accident or an emergency, the city simply isn't equipped to handle any additional strain. I just came from downtown. It's essentially shut down. I've never seen it like that before, and I've been here all times of the year, all hours of the day and night. I've never seen it like this. It's like a ghost town. Now, while downtown wasn't directly impacted by the floodwaters, that would be impossible. It's way up there. Many hotels and businesses are struggling due to widespread shortages of water, electricity, and staff. The workers themselves have been hit hard, and they're dealing with their own devastation, as you can imagine. Restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, and stores, they remain closed, creating a sense of isolation in what is usually a bustling area. To make matters worse, access to basic necessities like toilets has become a real challenge, to put it lightly. A few portable toilets are scattered around, but they're far from adequate, as you know if you ever had to use one, and they're filling up quickly. And that kind of situation is far from pleasant. It's times like this that I'm thankful to be a guy, if you know what I mean. Honestly, no one should have to endure portable toilets in the condition that some of them are in. But for women, it's particularly rough. And some men too, I guess, depending on what they need to do. Anyway, it's good that some are available, but a ton of people are using them when they can find them. And so the overall conditions are pretty dreadful. So think about that. If you are anywhere in the country and you're like, oh, let me go to Asheville and see what I can do. Nah. Trust me, you don't want to be in this kind of circumstance. All in all, the city needs time to recover before it's ready for visitors again. Everyone here is focused on survival first and cleanup. And adding more people into the mix would only make things harder. Now, listen, I'm going to let you know as things evolve and as things begin to open up, because more than anything, we want to be able to support the local economy again. But as of the time of this recording, it's only been a week. And so we literally have to let the dust settle. Now let's talk about what I'm showing you right now. If you're familiar with my channel and many of my videos and the books that I've written, you know that my central interest is in architectural history and design psychology, urban design, and history in general. These videos are not being provided for the benefit of disaster porn, and I'm certainly not sharing them for high views or clicks. If you're familiar with my channel, plenty of my videos get lots of views, so I don't need to do this to attract people to my channel. What I want to talk about is the future, because historians can talk about that too, right? In fact, many of us think about the future just as much as we think about the past, because we think about how the future can benefit from what we've learned in the past. And so my videos showing the storm damage are going to be a little bit different from others that you see out there. And here's what I mean by that. For those who don't know, the River Arts District in Asheville has long been a hub for creativity, housed in old historic buildings that were never designed to withstand the forces of a major flood and hurricane. This area, rooted in industrial architecture, is rich with character, but its aged structures were vulnerable to the devastation that struck in October of 2024. And I've been talking to a lot of people that work and live here. And despite the damage, the spirit of rebuilding remains strong, with hopes that the town will rise again, maintaining its historic charm while incorporating necessary modern adaptations. Now, I know that I'm planning way into the future here, but I think it's a good idea that we do. So at least we kind of lay some groundwork, and we can see what kind of interest there are in these types of ideas. As you can tell from my accent, I am a New Yorker. I was born in New York City. And the Twin Towers were a big part of my life. And I don't mean because I work there, because I never did, or because I visited there often, which I didn't. I mean, I've been there plenty of times, but it was a place where people worked. I mean that it was a big part of life in New York City. And after it was destroyed, and when it came time to rebuild, it was years and years and years and years of people having committees and arguing and everybody throwing in their 2 cents. And in the end, we didn't get our Twin Towers back. Instead, we've got an air-conditioned nightmare. A building that means nothing to anybody and just disappears into the cityscape. Yeah, it's an attractive building, but honestly, if you showed the building to 50 people, you'd be lucky if a few of them could point out what it is. And so that's the big problem, and you've got too many chefs in the kitchen. So when Asheville plans this district's revival, it seems to me that it would be essential to honor the historical essence of the area. I was talking to people earlier today, and they were saying how the city is probably going to demolish everything and just put in some more roads and maybe some high-end strip malls. Oh man, Asheville doesn't need that. It seems to me that when Asheville plans the district's revival, it would be essential to honor the historical essence of the area. Brick and other traditional materials should be prioritized in new construction, reflecting the textures and tones of the original architecture. This choice would not only preserve the aesthetic of the past, but also provide a sense of warmth and durability. And that graffiti. Let me tell you, a lot of people might think, oh man, that looks chintzy, that looks cheap, that looks trashy. Nah, it's a beloved symbol of artistic expression, and it should be welcomed back, blending urban art with historical preservation. To encourage artists to return and to support the district's artistic community, studios and workspaces should feature large windows to allow for abundant natural light, crucial for painters and sculptors and other creative types. Gift shops and art galleries should be designed to feel small, cozy, and imaginative, tucked into corners in a way that evokes a 19th century village, where buildings seem to have sprouted organically, adding charm to the visitor experience. Doesn't that sound better than a strip mall? Now, many of you might be saying, yeah, that sounds really great, but why go through all that trouble if another flood is just going to destroy the place again? Well, you got to plan for that. And so 2 key architectural solutions could protect future structures from flooding. 1, elevating the land to keep new buildings out of harm's way. Yeah, I know the waters went up high. I get it. But elevating the land is a pretty good solution. Also, creating a facade on the lower portion of the buildings that disguises underground parking. And that would cleverly integrate functionality with historic design. So from the road or even walking around, you wouldn't even notice that a parking garage is underneath. From the outside, it would just look like part of the historic buildings, right? And there are other ideas to maintain the warmth and connection to history. So you've got maybe using cobblestone or brick pathways to reinforce the historic feel of the district. Also incorporating wood beams and wrought iron accents and other details that evoke craftsmanship and heritage. And think about all the great jobs this would create for local craftsmen and people that want to learn historic ways of building. Also designing outdoor public spaces like courtyards or small plazas for gathering and markets. That would encourage interaction and it would add to the village atmosphere. Also including artistic touches in unexpected places like murals or sculptures hidden in nooks and creating a sense of discovery for visitors. That's what's kind of fun about historic villages in Europe, the United States, and other places, where you're walking along and it's like you found something, right? And even though a zillion people may have seen it before, it's like, oh no, that's my little area. And it's a place where people can go and have lunch or hang out, small little places, little nooks. And so it seems to me that this kind of blend of traditional design with modern necessities can ensure that the River Arch District retains its soul while remaining more resilient for the future. So, what do you think about what you've seen so far? If you're rolling in dough and had some control over the future of the River Arts District, what ideas would you have to restore and revitalize it, to make the River Arts District great again? What are your thoughts about FEMA and what it may or may not be doing to help the victims? Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell because there will be more videos like this one, and I hope you check those out too. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com, where you could order the highest quality and exclusive candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more. I'd also appreciate it if you could become a member of this channel and or join me on Patreon, where you can watch exclusive videos of cool places that I've been to. You could also leave a super thanks in the comments below. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm them. They don't like that. Remember to be compassionate to all living things. And please do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.